DC-20 Sports is proud to present Washington Capitals Hockey. Tonight's game is sponsored in part by your local Volkswagen dealer, where you'll find Farfig-Nugen. It's what makes a car a Volkswagen. Providence Savings. Solid service, solid rates, and solid strength make Providence the solid choice in banking. Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. Hardee's. All kinds of good stuff. C&P Telephone Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. About Atlantic Company. And by Amtrak's Metroliner service. 17 departures to Midtown New York City every business day.
You're looking live at the Brendan Byrne Arena in the Meadowlands, where tonight the New Jersey Devils get set to meet the Washington Capitals with 17 games to go. These two teams are fighting for Patrick Division playoff spots. They are separated by just 3 points, and the importance of tonight's game, it speaks for itself. The Caps and the Devils next right here on WDCA TV 20 Sports. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Rimmer, your play-by-play host of Washington Capitals hockey here on DC-20, along with Craig Laughlin. And Craig, the cliche goes, the proverbial four-pointer. The Washington Capitals and the Devils separated by just the 3 points. The Caps want to win to pull within 1. The Devils want some breathing space. They want to move 5 points up on Washington.
Well, it certainly is. Both teams taking this game very seriously. The Capitals, talked to them earlier in the day. It's like a playoff atmosphere in the dressing room before the game. And the Devils, on the other hand, the same situations. They know the Caps have a good schedule down the end of the season, 10 of their last 15 at home. So they want to make up some ground, get ahead of the Capitals a little bit, and they want to win it on home ice tonight.
All right, what does last night's or yesterday afternoon's come from behind time mean to the hockey club?
Well, I think it's a momentum, and it's a confidence builder. When you're playing against the Pittsburgh Penguins, they're a high-scoring hockey team, up 5-3, and the Capitals come back and work extremely hard in that third period to get a tie and get an important point. The guys in the dressing room are feeling good about themselves. They know they can beat the top hockey teams. They beat the Rangers. They tied Pittsburgh. Now they've got to come into the Meadowlands with a lot of confidence and play the same style game.
Well, yesterday at the Capitol Center, the Washington Capitals came from behind with 2 late goals in the third period to set the stage for tonight's game. The Caps take an early 1-0 lead. John Druce breaks a long scoring drought with this goal. It's his 19th of the year, breaking a 16-game goal-scoring slump. Caps down by a score of 2-1. But Mike Ridley will get his 19th of the year on this rush, and Ridley starts it with a lead pass to Hatcher. Caps needed this goal late in the period to tie it. Ciccarelli from in front. Mike Ridley scores at 19:59, and the Capitals leave the ice tied 2-2. Al Iafrate would get the third Washington goal. It's a 3-2 lead. The loose puck at the corner of the net. He scores, and Washington leads by a goal. Caps down by 2 late in the period. Peter Bondra gets the Capitals back in the game with his 11th of the year, setting the stage for the final minute of play. With Jim Rivnak out of the net, the Washington Capitals would tie it. The wraparound goal by Dino Ciccarelli is 21st of the year. Washington a 5-5 tie with Pittsburgh. Dino Ciccarelli, the star of yesterday's 5-5 tie for the Capitals over the Penguins back in Washington. He joins us now here on WDCA. And Dino, a very big point for the Washington Capitals yesterday.
It really was. The way it's going down, it looks like it's going to go down the last week or so again like it did last year. So every point's a big point for us, and especially tonight against the Devils. It's, we're looking at it as a 4-point game. We're either going to be 1 behind them or 5 behind them. So it's going to be a playoff-style game tonight. Now, so far in this 5-game season-long series, each team has won on their home ice, and I'm sure that's something that Terry Murray has mentioned before tonight's game. Yeah, he has. We're not going to go into too much detail. We have a lot of confidence playing against the Devils. Obviously, last year we had a lot of success in the playoffs against them. And, with our game plan and with our hard-hitting style, hopefully, that'll wear off against them, and we can come up with a big win here. You scored some pretty big goals for this hockey team. You lead the club in goals now with 21. I guess it's time that the real Dino Ciccarelli showed up, and you're having a pretty good second half. Well, it's going pretty good. Obviously, I would have liked to hit 20 a couple months ago, but with the hand injury that I had earlier, things are going pretty good. I'm going to be out there in certain situations extra ice time power plays, and like last night when we have the goalie to the net, and I've been getting some bounces and some luck has been going my way.
In the second intermission here on DC-20, we've got a hockey video, a little musical video, and rumor has it that you're a better hockey player than you are an artist. Do you have an explanation?
Well, I spent the money I got for singing lessons. That was just a little fun we had in St. Louis. We got the guys together and tried one of those sound videos, so I don't think we have much of a future in the music end of it.
All right, good luck for tonight and the balance of the season.
Thank you.
The Caps' Dino Ciccarelli, and we'll be back with more here on DC-20 in just a moment.
Warning, you'll see double when you watch DC-20 at 7 and 11. Double cheers. Twice as much night court. Double the comedy, twice the laughs, and 2 times as much fun. Cheers at 7:30 and 11. Night court at 7 and 11:30. 5 nights a week on DC-20 WDCE TV.
Hi, this is Lady Luck. Sorry I haven't been around to help anyone hit the lotto jackpot lately. Hey, everyone needs some time off once in a while. But the jackpot has been growing, so just be patient and we'll see what happens when I get back. Bye.
Estimated lotto jackpot, $5 million.
B6.
Bingo! What? Graduating from the Columbia University Law School, she worked for the NAACP and had a career that included 9 successful civil rights arguments before the U.S. Supreme Court. She became the first black woman elected to New York State Senate and the presidency of Manhattan Borough. The highlight of her career, January 25th, 1966, when Constance Baker Motley became the nation's first black woman to sit as a federal judge.
We're back here at the Brendan Byrne Arena in the Meadowlands, minutes before the face-off, before a very important game for both the Washington Capitals and the New Jersey Devils as far as the Patrick Division standings are concerned. Welcome back. I'm Jeff Rimmer, along with Caps coach Terry Murray. And Terry, all the playoff ramifications rest on tonight's game. Sure, there's a lot left in the National Hockey League's regular season, but this one's a big 4-point game.
Well, it is, Jeff. There's no question about it. We got to come out here with all our guns blasting and go right at the New Jersey Devils tonight. I really want to get the puck in and get a forechecking game established early. They're coming off a game against the Rangers last night where they're down 4-0 early in the, well, actually at the 15-minute mark, I guess it was, of the first period. So if we can get something going real quickly and score early on the New Jersey Devils, maybe we can get them second-guessing a little bit and take it from there. It's
been a homer series so far, and I'm sure that's something you've told the players on a regular basis here in the last day or so.
Well, you know, the division is so tight. Parity, as we know, we've talked about many times this year, and it's very, very difficult to go into any building today and win. But the whole season's on the line for us right now. We have to come in here and we have to play very well and get some big production from a lot of players in order to get 2 points.
All right, what about lineup changes for tonight, if any?
Well, the only lineup change that I'm really going to make here tonight, Jeff, is I'm putting Tim Berglund into the lineup, taking Steve Leach out, so that'll put Berglund on the line with Pivanka and Bondra. It gives, I feel that Pivanka and Bondra a little bit more of a defensive player to allow them to be more offensive-minded and to get something going in the stat column. And I'm still waiting to see, I guess, if Rod is going to be playing. He's here. He's getting rubbed down in the trainer's table right now, so I'll just have to take a read after the warm-up and see how he is.
What kind of game do you expect tonight?
Well, I think it's going to be a very high-tempo, very intense game. There's going to have to be an awful lot of hard work, and I think there's going to be a lot of contact out there, Jeff. I don't think that we can look and see and predict there's going to be a lot of, bad penalties taken. We can't afford to. New Jersey have a good power play, and we do also if we can just get it going here. We're getting our opportunities, so they have to be careful in taking any kind of bad penalties. But certainly, a playoff-style game, a lot of intensity, a lot of hard work, and I think that, we're going to be in for an interesting game. The fans are going to enjoy it very much.
All right, good luck tonight, Terry.
Thanks, Jeff.
Caps coach Terry Murray. Stay tuned for more of our pregame show here from the Meadowlands. Before the face-off, the Devils hosting the Washington Capitals. We'll be back.
1966 was a year of many firsts for African Americans. Edward Brooke from Massachusetts became the first U.S. Senator since Reconstruction. That very same year, Robert Weaver became head of Housing and Urban Development, appointed by President Lyndon Baines Johnson. Emmett Ashford became the first African-American umpire for a Major League ball game between Washington Senators and Cleveland Indians on opening day. 1966, a great year for African-American first.
Religion has always had an important role in the social, political, and spiritual life of African Americans. Black churches produced many great leaders, including Reverend Martin Luther King, Jr. In the summer of '66, he led his Southern Christian Leadership Conference in a rally for open housing in Chicago. Marches were met with angry mobs and the National Guard. Dr. King left Chicago in August 1966, vowing to keep coming back until we are safe from harassment.
Better buckle up.
Did you say something?
I didn't say anything.
Seatbelts save lives.
What did you say?
You must be hearing things.
Buckle up. It's Maryland's law. This message brought to you by this station and your Maryland State Police.
We're back live here on WDCA, TV 20 Sports, the Washington Capitals and the New Jersey Devils. All important game as far as the upcoming Stanley Cup playoffs are concerned. Welcome back, I'm Jeff Rimmer, and it is with great pleasure that we welcome to our DC 20 TV Sports Washington Capitals telecast the executive producer of DC 20 Sports, Marty Corwin. And Marty,
it's going to be a great game. This one the Caps have to pull out to just keep it close, stay behind New Jersey, and yeah, it's great to be up here with you guys. You know, see what you actually do for a living. You know.
let's talk about another reason why you are here. Tomorrow you'll be up at Madison Square Garden in New York. The Bullets have a big game on the road against the Knicks.
Right, it's a big week for Channel 20. We have 4 games in 5 days this week. Tonight here, obviously at New Jersey. Tomorrow night, the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Then Wednesday night again, the Rangers and the Caps at Madison Square Garden. And then Friday, the Bullets and Milwaukee. So if my wife is watching, I won't see you for about a week now. So kiss the kids for me, and I'll be home Saturday.
Of course, the Caps and the Bullets aren't the only sports enterprises on DC 20 Sports. Very soon, the Orioles will be starting up in another season of Baltimore Orioles baseball here on DC 20.
That's right. About 2 weeks now, March 16th, we have our first Orioles game. It's a preseason game against the 1:30. We're playing the, I should know this. We got 3 preseason games. First one, 16th, is the, it'll come to me. But we got 50 games this year for the Orioles, and we're glad to have them back on WDCA.
Well, we're glad to have you up here in the broadcast booth. You can help us out with some stats tonight. Thanks.
Thanks.
Marty Corwin of DC 20 Sports. Yes, the Washington Capitals tonight, to a man, realize the importance of this hockey game. They feel that they've got to win for the first time here at the Meadowlands. The Devils had won the previous 3 games. This is the last time the Washington Capitals will be here at New Jersey. They have 1 game left at the Capitol Center later on this month. And Greg Laughlin, as we look at the Washington Capitals and look for key performers tonight, we heard from Dino Ciccarelli, and his scoring heroics would certainly be welcome tonight.
It sure would. 1 goal, 1 assist the other night. He's a key guy for the Capitals. He stirs it up in the corners. He rotates the top of the circles very well. He's a right shot. He likes to go on top of that left circle. And against Terreri playing goal for New Jersey, shooting it up top is going to be important tonight. He's a small goaltender with good reflexes, but if you throw it high on him, you have a chance to score. And another guy who's always involved and who's played very well all season, Dale Hunter's going to be a factor. He caused that 5th and tying goal against the Penguins. He's a guy that can get under your nails, and he's got to do that against these Devils. They're not playing with a lot of confidence, and if Dale Hunter can play the way he can, get them off their game, it's going to be a big asset for the Caps.
Well, one member of the Devils that is playing very well right now is defenseman Kazatanov. In fact, he's been one of the key blue liners here for the Devils through most of the year.
He sure have. Alexei Kazatonov handles the puck well. He's a big, strong guy. He's got a lot of talent. He moves very well up onto the plate, and he's got a dynamite slap shot from the point, Jeff. So the Capitals, the penalty killers, when Kazatonov's on the ice, have to beware of him because he likes shooting that hard, low shot from the point. And the forward I think we've got to watch is Brendan Shanahan. He's got 21 goals on the season. He's playing well. He's playing with John Morris and John McLean. And John McLean, the leading scorers for the Devils. So that trio there is an important part of the New Jersey team. And Shanahan's the guy that does all the dirty work for those two other guys.
Surprise scratch for the Devils. Veteran Peter Stastny not in the lineup tonight.
Well, Peter Stastny is not in the lineup, and that is a big surprise to me, Jeff. I think 3 games and 4 nights. He's an older player, a veteran player, and I think they're giving him some time off. I'm not sure, though. He's got a lot of goals for them. It's a decision by John Conniff. He's not playing tonight.
Jim Rivnak again in goal. He was in goal yesterday against the Penguins, back in the nets today.
Well, yes, he had a strong performance the other day, so Terry Murray going with the hot hand, sticking with Rivnak. He played well the other night. He's got to control those rebounds and move the puck up these boards. The boards in the Meadowlands are very fast, and when he gets a hold of that puck to take off the forechecking pressure from the Devils, he's got to shoot it out of the zone.
Overall, what do you think for this game tonight?
I expect both teams to come out with a roughness off the bat. I think the Capitals want to set the pace. They've got a lot of tough guys in the lineup. The Devils are very talented, but down the center, they're not too big. So you've got to finish your checks. You've got to take their man. So I figure the Capitals, winning one and tying one in the last 2 games, they've got to play the same style. There's no use of changing the style they're playing right now.
The bottom line, the Washington Capitals have right now, in the midst of them, that 5-game stretch against Patrick Division rivals. They can set the table for themselves. They know that as they take the ice here tonight.
Well, they certainly do. It's in their own hand. They know they have to come out here and play tough against New Jersey. They haven't beaten New Jersey at the Meadowlands this year. It's a tough task to beat this team here, but they know if all 20 guys are going tonight, that's what it's going to take, a full team effort from everybody involved. If they do that, they can end up on top.
Well, the Washington Capitals and the New Jersey Devils face off here at the Meadowlands. We'll have it live and exclusively for you right here on WDCA.
Sometimes you wanna go. Now your favorite show is even more fun when you play Cheers Trivia. Dial 1-900-HOT for Cheers. Answer 6 questions correctly and win $500. Questions like, what color socks does Cliff usually wear? Or, what American city is home to Cheers? Call 1-900-HOT for Cheers. $2 per minute will be charged to your phone. Play Cheers Trivia anytime and catch all the laughs weeknights at 7:30 and 11 p.m. on DC20.
Some people think a Volkswagen Jetta is nothing to get excited about. Yeah, right. I mean, Nick, what's so exciting about height-adjustable steering, multi-adjustable seats, and a roomy interior for 5 adults? Or Jetta's 17-cubic-foot trunk? Personally, I think that's exciting. And even more exciting is the way it's all put together. That's Farfignugan. It's what makes a car a Volkswagen.
Kelly Miller for Providence Savings.
When I first arrived in town, I kept hearing about the great service of Providence Savings.
Good morning, Mr. Miller.
Good morning. Free checking with interest sounded great.
Here's your receipt, Mr. Miller.
Thank you. And mortgage loans tailored to my individual needs. Now that's great banking. But like so many other folks have found, the real service I love at Providence Savings is personal service. Providence Savings, the solid choice.
What do you think? Here's a better idea.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the Bermuda Triangle.
No wonder nobody ever comes back.
Burger, please. Mary Beth Keegan, all alone. Better make that a big bacon cheeseburger.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Can you really eat all that?
Oh, yeah, it's perfect for a guy like me.
A big, thick, juicy cheeseburger with bacon.
I need to bulk up for football this fall.
Really? I was thinking of going out for co-ed soccer.
Co-ed, huh?
Jim Rivnak for the Capitals is going to make his second straight start. He put together a great effort yesterday. He turned aside 31 of 36 Pittsburgh shots. And he earned an important point for the Capitals in this Patrick Division standings. He was a key guy. He's got to move that puck along the boards, get it out of trouble. For the New Jersey Devils, Chris Terreri is going to get the nod. He's a small goaltender, cat-like reflexes. The Capitals, to score on him, have to create some traffic jams in the crease area.
Referee for tonight's game is Paul Stewart, Wayne Bonney, and Dan McCourt, the linesman. And Boschman has just been chased from the faceoff circle, so it'll be Conacher in against Hunter. And we are underway. Crowder gets it back to Weinrich at the line. Off the boards into the Washington end. Comes to the near side. Cut off and touched. And we've got the first whistle here. Icing the call against the Devils. The faceoff will come all the way back in the New Jersey end. For the Capitals here, the starting lineup. Dale Hunter at center. Flanked by John Druce and Alan May. Iafrate and Sabrin on the points. It is Boschman centering the line for the Devils. And while we have a moment, let's get you caught up to date on all the players scratched from tonight's game. For the Washington Capitals, Rod Langway has joined the team here in New Jersey. He's been scratched along with Kristich, Sheehy, Felix, Savage, Lawler, and Leach. All scratched from the Washington lineup. Play underway. Crowder inside his own line. Feeds to center. Iafrate throws it on the wing for John Druce. Stepping up now is Weinrich. He loses the puck backhanded in neutral ice. Iafrate steps up to the red center line, and the Devils dump it back in again. It is touched by Sabrin. And again, the Devils called for icing.
The Devils a little tentative off the bat, trying to get the puck going up the ice, up the neutral zone, but icing the puck. The fans getting on them a little bit, but they're playing with not very much confidence. So when they're doing that, they get the puck in. They're trying to get some forechecking going against the Washington Capitals.
Face off to the left of Terreri. Devils a little disappointed in the effort last night, particularly the first period from Terreri, but he comes right back in there tonight. And Craig surprised to see Terreri back in there with Sean Burke coming on as well as he did in the latter stages of yesterday's game.
He played well, Sean Burke, for 2 periods, but the rumor around here is that Chris Terreri is their #1 goalie, and Coach Cunniff's going to go with him right through the playoffs. He's their #1 man.
Brown on the half board, backhands it to neutral ice. Johansson for the Capitals. Turns, throws it ahead here for Ridley on the backhand pass. He puts it on the wing for Miller, who dumps it in right on Terreri. He gloves it, and with Ridley cruising in, play whistled down. Mike Ridley, currently on a 13-game point scoring streak, added to yesterday in the 5-5 tie with the Penguins, and playing very, very well, I might add.
And Coach Terry Murray making a few changes tonight, Jeff, inserting Tim Berglund into the lineup, taking out Stephen Leach. Rod Langway not being able to play tonight. His back still a little bit sore, and inserting Ken Painter into the lineup.
Terry Murray had hoped to have Langway back in the lineup tonight. Again, he flew up here this afternoon from Washington, but just unable to go. Hopefully, Langway will play Wednesday night as the Washington Capitals conclude this brief 2-game road trip against the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden, and we'll have it for you here on DC 20. From the draw, Hatcher, the left point, fires a shot high over top of Terreri. Into the corner, Kiprios gets banged by Muller. Seager down the left wing for the Devils. To Kazatanov, looking on the right wing for Lemieux, who races after the puck. Goes to the far side. Lemieux loses his edge. From the corner, Lemieux gets the puck right back. He's tied up by Johansson. Seager comes in to push it along, but Johansson for the Capitals controls. Turns. Throws it ahead for Kordic, who comes back for it. He throws it rink wide, and that one missed Johansson, and almost the Devils with a break.
And Jim Rivnak trying to work on his net. He's slapping his stick, trying to get the attention of the official. The net was off its mooring. He had to get underneath it with his shoulder and lift it back onto the post.
Ken Painter up from Baltimore takes a hit from Muller. Tatarnov works it to the point, but not out. Driver's drive. Rivnak to save. Berglund back in the lineup today. Feeds it ahead to Pavanka. Tipped ahead by Weinrich. Back into the Washington zone, and Painter turns
Comes out of the corner, throws it ahead here for Berglund. Berglund down the left wing to center with Tatarnov. Tatarnov pokes it to the corner. Berglund races after, being chased by Driver. Gets it to Bondra, hops over his stick. John Morris, too far for Shanahan, and the puck cleared back into the Washington zone. Tatarnov stops behind the net. Gets it ahead for Bondra. On the wing for Pavaka. It was too far. Weinrich dumps it back in. Sabrin cutting it off. Throws it ahead here for Pavaka to center. With Bondra. The two of them cross the line. Drop pass for Bondra. Berglund is with them. And the puck poked off Bondra's stick. He races back after it at the red center line. Bondra to Pavaka. Dumped to the corner. John McLean leads the Devils' attack. He's to the line. McLean, lead pass for John Morris across the Washington line. Morris turns, feeds back to McLean. Iafrate is there. He looks for Ridley. Hopped over his stick, controlled by the Devils at their own blue line. Danico to John Morris. Morris with the backhand, just dumps it in lazily into the Washington zone. Rivnak puts it ahead there for Ridley. Brown couldn't handle the puck. Danico's drive, gloved by Rivnak, and he will hold on. We'll step aside. Something developing here. Sabrin and Maley. We've got some penalty calls. We'll have them for you when we return.
Life without choices is like a jukebox with one song. But more choices are always at your fingertips in the C&P telephone Yellow Pages. It's got more choices, a lot more, than any other Yellow Pages. No wonder so many of us, 9 out of 10 of us, use it. When it comes to choices, the more the merrier. The genuine C&P telephone Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
We're back on WDCA, Washington Capitals hockey. Jeff Rimmer along with Craig Laughlin. We apologize for our satellite problems presently. We are working to correct our technical difficulties. Please stay with us. The Devils and the Capitals. And penalties here to start the hockey game. Paul Stewart sending both Sabrin and Maley off. 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. Iafrate to Miller. Miller throws it ahead here for Tatarnov. Cross the line, drive high over Terreri. On the near side, trying to dig it free. Mike Ridley comes out of the corner. Ridley sidesteps a check. Then it takes another hit from Brown. Backhanded shot by Ciccarelli goes wide on the far side. Puck comes to the corner to Ridley. Intercepted by Boschman. Boschman kicks it back to Danico, who stops momentarily behind the New Jersey net. And Danico for Sundstrom on the backhand at center. Iafrate there finds Ridley with Ciccarelli. Looking for Ciccarelli, who sidesteps a check from Danico, but Danico able to poke it off his stick. Lead pass. Devils out of their own zone. This is Sundstrom across the line. Tries to walk in past the defense. Throws it out in front here. Boschman. Boschman on the near side. Trying to get the face-off. Now gets it back to Sundstrom. Sundstrom turns. The backhand shot right on Rivnak, and he will hold on. Those penalties to Sabrin and Maley. Unsportsmanlike conduct at 3:02.
The season winding down, it's not too early to start thinking about next season. Now it's a great time to put a non-refundable deposit on a new season ticket or a partial plan for next year. By doing that, you guarantee yourself the best possible seats for this year's playoffs. You'll also receive an authentic game puck autographed by your favorite Cap. For more info, sales reps are standing by right now, and they'll answer all your questions at 386-7080. That's 386-7080.
Dale Hunter. Kirk Muller set for the draw. Hunter wins it cleanly. Hatcher around the net to lead the Capitals attack. He's to the line. Hatcher to center. Loses the puck, and Fetisov clears it all the way down the ice into the Washington zone. Icing has been waved off. Now the face-off as play whistled down by Paul Stewart. Face-off will come in the Washington end.
Captain Kirk Muller for the New Jersey Devils struggling a little bit. Only 1 goal in his last 14, and a lot of people around town have been saying the pressure of being the captain. The team's underachieving, Jeff. They've got a lot of talent on the club. They've had a lot of team meetings, and that takes a toll on the player. And Kirk Muller moves to center tonight. He's usually a left winger. More room out there to maneuver.
And Muller, the subject of some trade rumors today in one of the local papers. So were several other Devils. We'll tell you about them a little later on. Tippett dumps to the open corner. Terreri out of the net. Just leaves it there for Fetisov. Ahead on the right wing for Claude Lemieux. Rink-wide pass too far for Seager. Puck all the way into the Washington zone. Johansson there for the Capitals. He stops. Throws it ahead here for Tippett. Tippett down the left wing. East to center. Dumps to the open corner. Kordic losing his edge. Back up on his feet very quickly. Lemieux turns away from Johansson. Skates back to center. One hand fends off the Caps defenseman. Finds Muller. Feeds it ahead here for Kazatanov, who turns. Throws it in front of the net, but it's wide. Kordic dumped right in front. Rivnak through traffic, able to see it. Steers to the corner. Play goes on. Claude Lemieux fires a drive on Rivnak. He steers it to the corner. Hatcher picks it up. Devils fans looking for a penalty call in front of the Washington net. Didn't get one. This play continues. Berglund dumps to the corner. Driver there. Works it high off the glass. Pabaka cutting it off. John McLean on the backhand for Shanahan. His backhand stopped at the point. A drive right on Terreri. The Caps' first shot off the stick of Iafrate. And Terreri holds on. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Amtrak is the better way to Atlantic City. Special bonuses add to the fun. Daily service. Call your travel agent or call Amtrak at 1-800-USA-RAIL.
Bye-bye, old boy.
Jeff Rimmer, Craig Laughlin back here on DC 20. The Caps and the Devils separated by 3 points in the standings. All important game here for both clubs. The Devils coming off a disappointing loss to the Rangers at the Garden in New York last night. And the Caps coming from behind for a tie with the Penguins. Feeling momentum can certainly help them here tonight. Backhanded by Washington into the New Jersey end. Terreri works it off the boards. Trying to cut it off and doing just that is Berglund. He feeds it right behind the net. Weinrich there. The rookie Devils defenseman feeds it on the wing, but Tatarnov keeps it in for Washington. Off a skate. Backhanded by Morris for Shanahan. Looking for McLean, but Berglund cuts it off and wisely dumps it back in. Driver around his net. Throws it ahead here for McLean on the right wing. At the line. McLean to center. For Driver, who crosses the line. Backhands for Shanahan. Through traffic. Knocked down. Here's Morris. Scores! John Morris. 1-0 New Jersey.
Well, John Morris for the Devils being inserted into the lineup tonight. He missed the Ranger game. He picks up his 7th goal and a loose puck in the skates of the Capitals. Then Rivnak goes down in the butterfly formation, and John Morris, more noted for his passing ability, decides to shoot the puck, and he slides it along the ice and goes into the 5-hole between Rivnak's pads.
Goal number 7 on the year for John Morris. The Devils lead 1-0. From the faceoff, Crowder feeds back to Danico. Danico works it off the boards into the Washington end. Hatcher there for the Capitals. Around his net. Intercepted by Boschman, who takes a hit from Hunter. Throws the glove back in the direction of Hunter, but the Caps able to clear the zone. And this is Hunter to center. Looking for John Druce. It's off his skate. Druce will touch it, icing the call. John Morris, the goal, his 7th of the year. Shanahan and Driver draw assists at 6:21. 1-0 New Jersey.
Coach John Cunningham for the Devils trying a bunch of different things to try to get this team motivated and to try to get them winning. He's tried acting really nice to the players. He's trying to tick them off to try to get them to play better. He's tried everything. Tonight he's went with a lot of different line combinations that the Devils do not usually use.
Danico to center. Lazily dumps it into the Washington zone. Crowder around the net. Tries to backhand in front. Conacher tied up by Iafrate. Trying to get the face-off here in the Washington zone. Puck finally kicked loose. Again, Conacher now works it free, but John Druce there for the Capitals, who feeds it ahead here for Hunter. with Alan May. Iafrate moving up in the play. Backhanded for John Drews. The shot. Terreri the save. Backhanded by May. Right out of the stick of Danico. Devils defenseman stands. Throws it cross ice. Boschman tipping it ahead for Albeline. For Conacher at center. Conacher working it into the Washington zone. Iafrate as the Caps and the Devils change on the go. Looking for Ciccarelli. It was too far, but he picks it up off the stick of Fetisov, who tries to find Kelly Miller, and it was just missed. Now Miller and Ridley bumped along the boards. Doug Brown holding on to Ridley, and a face-off has been called in the Devils zone. We'll be back. Stay tuned. The Caps trail by a goal.
What a day. I could sure use a vacation.
Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold buds.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah.
Nothing beats a bud.
The Capitals moving up the ice, creating a 4-on-3. Iafrate driving to the net. Dale Hunter coming up to the middle, but the late man, John Drews, not picked up by the fourth and fifth guy for the Devils. Gets away a hard wrist shot. Goes off the stick and pad of Terreri into the corner. A big save for Terreri off the stick of John Drews.
Fetisov stick handles, now feeds ahead for Brown, throwing it on the wing for Maley. Off his skate, comes right back to Maley. Devils will have to regroup and neutral ice. Kazatanov stands up at center, then fires it in. Only it makes its way up into the crowd here at the Meadowlands, and a lucky souvenir for a Devils fan. 11:56 left to go here in the first period. The Caps trail 1-0. They've been outshot 4-2 as we got a look at Coach Terry Murray. Talking about the importance of the game with us here on DC-20 before tonight's telecast. And he wants very much for the Capitals to come up with a win to move within 1 point of the fourth-place Devils. Puck fired into the New Jersey zone. Kazatanov around his net. Throws it ahead here for Sundstrom. Intercepted by Ridley. Mike Ridley from the corner. Pitched along the boards by Kazatanov. Gets some help here from Miller. Turned around by Fetisov, who gets it to Sundstrom. Ahead to Maley. Looking on the right wing for Brown, and he just missed it. Brown races after it in the corner. Ken Painter touches it first, and icing the call. Ken Painter, you got to look at him there, up from Baltimore. In fact, he traveled with the broadcast crew last night from BWI here to the Meadowlands.
Playing very well in Baltimore, Jeff. 8, 11, and 19 in 28 games. He's missed about half the games in Baltimore with a sore ankle, a sprained ankle, but he's come back. 4 power play goals in 54 minutes. And I watched him in practice today, and he's got a really hard, low slap shot from the point. And the Capitals looking for him to get that type of shot through with traffic in front of Terreri, and deflections in that can go up over the sprawled Terreri.
Mike Lawler back in Washington. His wife expected to give birth at any moment. In fact, perhaps might have earlier on today. Not with the team, but expected to rejoin them for the game Wednesday. Puck worked along around the boards. Picking up the loose puck there is Conacher. Skates it to center with Crowder. Conacher crosses the line. Johansson forcing him to turn. Crowder's shot steered aside by Rivnak. Crowder and Hatcher bump. Up, squirts free. John Drews to Johansson. Johansson stepping up in the play, crosses the line, tries to work it free, and offside the call. Surprising, Craig, with the importance of this hockey game and all the talk and discussion in the newspapers and on radio today, that there are a good number of empty seats here at the Meadowlands tonight.
Well, I think that people also are pretty upset the way the Devils have played. They haven't played extremely well, and they packed it the other night when they played the Rangers and the Flyers, and I think now they expect a lot more from this hockey club, and they just aren't giving the fans the type of game that they want to see.
Got to look at Dale Hunter, who will be our intermission guest here on DC-20. Played a solid game yesterday, and that come from behind time. A big point for the Capitals. Seager for Lemieux off the stick. On the far side, Iafrate tries to work it out of the zone, but it's dumped right behind the Washington net. Lead pass for Kiprios just missed. Danico dumps it back in. Racing after it is Muller. Worked off the glass and down the ice into the Devils' zone. Here's Abilene. Behind his own net. The Devils defenseman tries to work it between the legs of Kordic. He's again behind the net. Finally gets it to Danico. Intercepted there by Iafrate, who steps up. Sidesteps the check. Iafrate tried to work in. And the puck poked off his stick. Abilene for Lemieux. Down the right wing. Puts it on the stick of Seeger. His drive finds its way up into the crowd. We'll step aside. 10:02 left to go here in the first period. The Devils by a goal.
Hey, Mrs. Susan Amato of Teaneck, New Jersey writes, I really want a Volkswagen Jetta, but what exactly does Farfignugan look like? Well, Mrs. Amato, did you see it? Farfignugan. It's what makes a car, a Volkswagen.
Jeff Rimmer, Craig Laughlin back here on DC 20. The Caps and the Devils. From the faceoff, poked ahead by Michael Pavanka. He is tied up. Terreri out of the net. Kazatanov works it around on the boards for Shanahan. Backhanded off the stick of Morris. Johansson stepping up for Washington. Feeds it ahead for Bondra. Bondra dumping it into the zone. Kazatanov quickly gets it back out. In the Washington end now. Backhanded by Kevin Hatcher. Fetisov couldn't keep it in. He is tied up, dumps it back in, delayed offside here as Kevin Hatcher turns away from Morris. Almost fired right on his own net. Johansson getting it ahead here for Berglund at center. Berglund off the stick, looking for Bondra. Bondra is tied up by Fetisov. Morris backhands to the far side where Shanahan stops. Now moves in front of his own net down the wing. Shanahan ahead to Morris with McLean. Finds McLean across the line. McLean turns right out of the stick of Berglund. Fetisov has it go off his stick. Patted ahead and neutralized now. It's Bondra tied up by Weinrich. Caps finally find the puck in the New Jersey zone. Quickly make a line change. Long lead pass from McLean. Flipped high in the air.
Both teams unable to get any sustained forechecking going, Jeff. Both teams getting to center, dumping it in, either changing or only sending in one forechecker, not allowing either team to get any quality scoring chance.
Ridley for Miller, and a drive finds its way up into the crowd off a Devil's stick. 8 minutes, 34 seconds left of the first period. The Devils lead by a goal.
Don't take a chance on anything less than Bell Atlantic quality, technology, and service. Make sure your cellular phone is on the Bell Atlantic system. Bell Atlantic Mobile. We're more than just talk.
Making this possible. Thank you all.
Jeff Rimmer, Craig Laughlin back here on DC 20 from the Meadowlands, the Caps and the Devils. And this is game 6 of a 7-game season-long series, the last game at the Meadowlands. Caps lead the season series 3-2. One more game back in Washington later on this month. Driver works it on the wing, cutting it off there is Tatarna, feeds to Ciccarelli, and a shot deflected wide. Kelly Miller turns at the circle, feeds back to Painter. That shot is blocked. Maley breaks down 2-on-2 with Sundstrom. Dumped to the corner. Sundstrom races after it, but bumped there by Painter. Painter takes a hit from Sundstrom, cut off by Brown on the far side. Maley works it in the corner with one hand, trying to get away from Tatarnov. But it's Tatarnov that comes up with the puck, and the Caps defenseman skates it back to the line, feeds ahead for Miller. Ciccarelli's on his right wing. Miller turns. Now finds Ciccarelli in over the line. Top of the circle. Ciccarelli looking for Ridley, who is dumped, and a delayed penalty. Here it is. The call from Paul Stewart as Ridley was dumped. Heads up play by Ciccarelli. We'll be back with the Caps power play. Stay tuned. Back here at the Meadowlands on DC 20, and it's time for the Circuit City Power Play contest. Tonight's first contestant is Christy Kramer of Gaithersburg. Christy's chosen John Druce as the Caps player to score in the power play, and if Druce scores, Christy will receive a video or stereo unit courtesy of Circuit City.
And Dino Ciccarelli, a nice spin-off at the top of the blue line, leading a feeding Mike Ridley, and the Devils weary of the way the Capitals drive to the net. And Mike Ridley drove to that net, causing Bruce Driver to stick his stick out. Ridley fell, nullifying a good scoring opportunity for him. Stewart quickly called a tripping penalty.
Driver 2 for tripping. At 12-11, Caps are on the power play with Pavanka, Druce, and Dale Hunter. Kevin Hatcher and Johansson on the points. Conacher working the face-off, wins the draw, but Hatcher gets it to Johansson. Johansson trying to direct it towards the net. Cut off by Kazatanov, who skates it back to center, then very lazily dumps it into the Washington zone. Rivnak teeing it up for his defense. This is Hatcher, Caps alternate captain. Skates back to the line. From center, fires it off the boards. Kazatanov lets it go. Comes free to Druce. Druce looking for Johansson. Knocked in the air. Caps will regroup and neutral ice. They control the puck. Johansson feeds to Pavanka for Dale Hunter. Hunter top of the circle. Throws it out in front for Druce, and he just tipped it wide. Worked off the boards and down the ice. Back into the Washington zone. 1:16 left in the minor penalty. Caps get some fresh legs out on this power play as Hatcher finds Ciccarelli at center. Back to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher stepping up, returning the pass to Ciccarelli with a burst of speed. He's across the line. Works it off the board. Ciccarelli right to Muller. Muller, a lead pass from McLean, and it was behind him and wide. Back is Hatcher, working it off the boards for Tatarnov. Tipping it ahead. Muller cuts it off. Right in front is McLean, and he scores a shorthanded goal. 2-0 Devils.
John McLean for the Devils picks up his 34th goal of the season. And the Capitals misplayed the puck around the boards. Tatarnov thinking he could get it past Kirk Muller. Kirk Muller, good hockey player, gets the puck, immediately throws it out to a wide-open John McLean. And John McLean, when he's around that front of the net, he doesn't miss too often. And he just shoveled that puck with a quick wrist shot past Jim Rivnak's blocker glove.
And for McLean, that is goal number 34 on the year. Puck dumped back into the Washington zone. 44 seconds left in the Caps power play. This is Tatarnov. Back to the blue line. Tatarnov to center. Backhands it on the left wing for Iafredi, who picks up the puck. Looking for Mike Ridley. Ridley turns, feeds to Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli's tied up, and Doug Brown dumps it back to center. Tatarnov being chased by Brown. Works it off the boards. Ahead for Bondra. And play whistled down by McCord on the two-line pass. McLean at 13:22. Muller drawing the assist. The shorthanded goal gives the Devils a 2-0 lead. And again, McLean, goal number 34.
And Terry Murray looking down his bench, talking to a few of the players, saying, come on, guys, we're only down 2-0. It's early in this period, near the end of the first, but they still have lots of time. And they know now they have the capability to come back because they came back against the Pittsburgh Penguins yesterday, Jeff, so they've got still a lot of confidence, and they've just got to settle down and move the puck around the tough checking forwards for the Devils, the Brown and the Melees, who kill off penalties very well.
Tatarnov for Bondra at center. Bondra being chased by Maley. Tries to backhand it into the zone. Loose puck picked up by Tatarnov, and again, offside the call with 8 seconds left now in the minor penalty. 5:57 left here in the first period.
Be sure to be with DC 20 Sports tomorrow night. The Bullets are traveling to Madison Square Gardens to take on the Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks live at 7:30 p.m. Join Mel Proctor, Phil Chenier. They'll be calling all the action right here on WDCA TV 20. Bernard King, Patrick Ewing, a great matchup tomorrow night.
And of course, we'll be back here on Wednesday night from Madison Square Garden in New York. As right there where the Knicks and the Bullets play tomorrow, the Rangers and the Caps will play Wednesday night. And again, that game right here on DC 20 Sports. Backhanded in. Kazatanov works it off the boards. And it's back into the Washington zone. 1 second left. Teams back to full strength as Driver makes his way out of the penalty box. A shorthanded goal. The Devils lead 2-0. 5:43 left to go here in the first period. Here's McLean now getting a pass. Fires a shot. Rivnak makes the save. Tatarnov works it off the boards. Looks for Hunter. But it's Kasatonov at his own line, feeding it ahead for Shanahan. Shanahan dumping it into the Washington zone. Tatarnov tries to work it around, pinching along the boards to cut it off with Shanahan. Morris takes a hit from Tatarnov and play whistled out.
John McLean, John Morris, and Brendan Shanahan doing the forecheck, and Kasatonov coming in from the point. A new line put together by John Cunniff, trying to get some offense out of John Morris. John Morris, a very nifty hockey player. Let Shanahan do the crashing and bashing, and let John McLean just hang around the top of the circles to take his quick wrist shot.
Terry Murray looking for a little life here in the hockey club right now, and he's put John Kordick back on the ice with Tippett and Kyprios. The faceoff just outside the Washington blue line. From the faceoff, Muller kicks it back to Seeger, who crosses the line. Seeger on the left wing, bumped by Iafrate. Puck squirts free to the corner. Muller tied up there by Sabrin. Seeger tied up by Tippett. They bump along the boards. Muller coming free around the net. Muller trying to throw it through the goal crease, but nobody there. Kordick getting it ahead here for Tippett at center. Tippett across the line, offside the call, and a face-off just outside the Devils' blue line with 4:58 left. 2-0 New Jersey.
And the Devils standing up the Washington Capitals. They're lining up 4 men across, forcing the Capitals to either dump it or they're going to go offside. The reason for that is they think they have Terreri back in the goal, who handles the puck very well. Against the Flyers, that was the difference in the game. Terreri was being able to get out of his net, stop the puck, move it up to his forwards, and the Flyers didn't get any forechecking going. That's what they want the Capitals to try to do.
At the line, Iafrate tries to gain the offensive zone, but Abilene works it off the boards and down the ice back into the Washington end. Sabrin around the glass on the left wing here for Kyprios. Lead pass, it was behind John Kordick. Lemieux throws a hit on Kyprios. Danico at his own line takes a hit there from Kyprios, but the puck squirts free to Seeger across the line. Drop pass for Muller. Muller finds Lemieux, and a pad save made by Rivnak. The puck was under Kordick, and play's been whistled down. Claude Lemieux wondering about that, asking Paul Stewart. The fans wondering, but the face-off will be to the left of Rivnak.
And Claude Lemieux and John Kordick, former teammates of the Montreal Canadiens, and John Kordick back-checking, getting his stick, whacking him. He got off the first shot, but then John Kordick quickly followed his check to the bottom of the circle and just hung on for the puck to get a face-off. But Kyprios and Kordick both back-checking, try to pick up that third man, Lemieux, who was breaking into the top of the circle to get away a good wrist shot.
Lemieux's been a pleasant surprise. Talking to the coaching staff this morning, getting a lot more than they expected offensively. And Lemieux, of course, providing some punch as well, and a physical presence on the Devils club as this one finds its way off his stick, way up into the crowds here at the Brendan Byrne Arena. Now the question is, can they find the puck? Reminder, the Washington Capitals, after playing the Rangers Wednesday night, return to the Capitol Center Saturday night against the New York Islanders. And then a week from tomorrow, the 5th of March, Wayne Gretzky and the LA Kings make their second and final appearance. Tickets remaining for both games. From the faceoff, Tatarnov at the right point. Keeps it in. Fires a shot. It's high over Terreri. McLean around on the boards. Shanahan has it. He works it to center where Tatarnov retreats inside his own line. Turns. Tatarnov looks for a painter, but it's intercepted by John Morris. Morris on the back end. Rivnak makes the save. The rebound. Shot wide. Again, the Caps give the puck away. Here's a drive by Morris. Rivnak makes that save. Tatarnov looking on the wing and feeding it behind Bondra, who has it. Bondra looks for Berglund. It was behind him. Caps very disorganized here in the first period. Bondra ahead to Berglund off his stick. McLean down the right wing. Ahead for Shanahan. And offside the call. We'll step aside with 3:30 left to go here in the first period. New Jersey leads by 2.
What is the image of a rebel? The These are the images of a rebel. Canon's revolutionary new autofocus EOS Rebel. So easy to use, you can stop taking snapshots and start taking photographs.
Image is everything.
EOS Rebel from Canon. So advanced, it's simple.
Jeff Rimmer, Craig Laughlin back here on DC 20. 3:30 left to go in the first period. As the Devils lead this one 2-0. Johansson on the backhand finds Miller, who quickly feeds it back to Hatcher, driven into the Devils zone. Ciccarelli tied up. Puck comes free. Brown for Fetisov. Fetisov ahead for Brown across the line. Brown turns. Tries to backhand it ahead for Sundstrom, but the Caps intercept. And here on the left wing is Ciccarelli, but it was poked ahead by Kazatanov all the way back into the Washington zone. Hatcher finds Kelly Miller offside the call, a two-line pass.
The Capitals trying to get some motion going through the neutral zone. A lot of swinging and turning, trying to get up ahead of steam to let the defense go D to D and then move the puck to a moving player. But unfortunately, the Capitals forwards are getting up over that center line, the defense behind the blue line, creating a two-line pass, and there's been a lot of whistles in that neutral zone area.
Look at Kelly Miller, the acting team captain, in the absence of Rod Langway. Rod with the team, but not in uniform. Arriving here at the Meadowlands around 5. Stan Juan working on Rod, but Rod just unable to go. Hopefully he'll be able to play Wednesday night against the Rangers. And the Caps team captain's presence certainly missed, Craig.
He certainly is, Jeff. I think he adds a stabilizing force out there, and the players seem to work off his, not only in his locker room, but the way he plays on the ice. He puts everything into it. He muscles guys out in the corner, and he's dearly missed, and hopefully he will be able to return Wednesday against the New York Rangers.
Hunter across the line, feeds it ahead for Alan May, who's tied up by Boschman. Terreri pokes it to the corner. Hunter picks up the puck. Fed back to the point. Here's a drive by Sabrin, blocked in front by the Devils. And Conacher feeds to Abilene, who works it off the boards. Iafrate stands up at center for Washington. Conacher trying to get somewhere, but he is tied up by Hunter. And play whistle down right there at the Devils bench. Crowder now trying to get in at Dale Hunter with that reach. Being a little bit taller, just got that right arm in there. And now Crowder gets the gate. Roughing the call. So that little reach costing Crowder the 2-minute penalty, and the Caps will be back on the power play.
And that proves the importance of Dale Hunter. He gets in the scrum, he pushes and shoves to try to free the puck loose, and sometimes you're so mad at him that you have to push him and shove him. And Crowder just pushed his arm, knocked the helmet off, but Paul Stewart right there to call it roughing penalty.
17:34, the time of that roughing call.
And we see the scrum along the boards. The puck trying to be froze along the boards by number 32, Conacher. But then you see the big left arm of Troy Crowder just ripped the helmet off the top of Dale Hunter's head.
From the faceoff, Devils scored on the last penalty killing situation, the shorthanded goal, making it a 2-0 game. The McLean goal. Following the goal by John Morris, the Devils lead with 2:12 left to go here in the first period. Tatarnov looking on the right wing for Kelly Miller. Fetisov first back for the Devils. Tied up by Ridley. Ciccarelli coming in to help out. Ciccarelli on the near side. Has the puck. Backhands to the point to Iafrate. Iafrate working it ahead here for Miller on the half board. Miller cross ice. Tatarnov fakes the shot. Steps back. At the right point, a wrist shot high over top of the net. Ciccarelli had to duck on that one. Backhanded by the Devils down the ice into the Washington zone. 1:12 left in the minor.
So far in the series against the Devils, the Caps have had quite a bit of success at about a 20% rate on the power play, 5 for 25.
Kazatanov dumping it the length of the ice, cut off by Rivnak. Sidesteps a check from his own player, and Iafrate works it back to Tatarnov down the right wing with 49 seconds left. Here's Pavanka on the backhand. gaining the offensive zone, but it's Driver who works it around on the boards, and the Caps unable to keep it in. And just getting his leg up was Iafrate. Caps might have been called there for too many men. Had that one touched Iafrate's skate with less than a minute to go now and 32 seconds of the penalty. Here come the Capitals. Hunter couldn't control the pass. Hatcher turns at the line. Gets it to Johansson. Back to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher steps up to center with 21 seconds left. Feeds to Johansson, who has the offensive zone. Now it's John Druce. Back to Hatcher. Hatcher pinching in. Turns. Comes back to the left point. Gives the puck there to John Druce. Druce for Hunter. Comes in front of the backhand. Terreri to save. Loose puck in front. Pavaka feeds back to the point. Here's Johansson to Hatcher in a one-timer. It's blocked in front of the Devils' net. Backhanded by Hatcher. Teams back to full strength through the goal mouth. Out the other side. Conacher works it down to center ice. Devils killing off another penalty. 13 seconds left of the period. Hatcher dumps, then heads to the bench. Caps changing on the fly. Crowder to center. Works across ice for Driver. Dumped into the Washington zone. Here's Kordic and Crowder right there at the line.
Crowder, the tough guy for the Devils. Fights most of the fights for the John Kordic getting his left hand free. Both big men, both trying to go at it. Both decided if they were going to be on the ice, they both squared off at center ice. Went toe-to-toe. Both guys landing some hard punches.
Wow, the Washington Capitals here at the conclusion of the first period, maybe looking for a little momentum. Kordic handling his own against Troy Crowder, one of the toughest in the National Hockey League, and they both leave, heading to their respective exits. But after the first period on the scoreboard, it's been all New Jersey on goals by John Morris and McLean, 2-0.
And John Kordic quickly drops his gloves, has a few words with Crowder. Then they both went toe-to-toe, both guys landing about 3 or 4 punches each.
Paul Stewart making the penalty calls. We'll have them for you. And as the teams leave the ice, we'll step aside. The Washington Capitals trail by 2.